Hi friends, this is Dinkar Suri, founder of GASP Sales Academy, and I'm delighted to be here with yet another edition of the Spotlight series. GASP Sales Academy builds sales productivity using the GASP Sales Toolkit, which is a process-led solution to all problems relating to poor sales productivity. Today, we shall be talking with Manish Loomba, one of the mentors at the Academy and who is a sales and distribution expert, about making sales partnerships work. Sales partnerships form a crucial element of a company's go to market strategy, and it is very important that these partnerships work as per the company's norms and as per the partner's own expectations to create a win win for both to build the business. Manish is an enterprising leader with a solid record of contribution in FMCG industry spanning over 25 years. He is an alumnus of FMS Delhi and is an expert in identification of new business opportunities, creation of new setups, and streamlining operations. His special focus is on driving sales productivity with sales partnerships with a win-win approach to build an overall business. Manish is a great addition to our team of mentors, and today we look forward to talking with him about making sales partnerships work. Hi Manish, welcome to the Spotlight series on GASP Sales Academy platform.
Welcome and thank you very much and good to be here.
Same here Manish, we look forward to having a chat with you about how to make sales partnership work. You have awesome experience in sales and distribution, and you are a mentor at the GASP Sales Academy for the course that is going to be starting very shortly on 13th September. So let's hear from you about sales partnerships, what makes them work, what are the good practices, and how to make them successful for a long term. So let's start. So the first question I have is because at GASP Sales Academy, we are talking of building sales productivity. So, how is the issue of sales productivity linked with sales partnerships?
First of all, we have to look into sales productivity not in isolation but as a cohesive force between the sales team as well as the channel partner. And that is why I always say sales productivity is nothing but a summation of activities what a salesperson or the abilities or the competency which the salesperson has, plus in synergy with the activities and the competencies and the infrastructure and other aspects of sales partner which is there. So sales productivity is directly proportional to the output and the productivity which sales partner gives. So that is very important as a process also. That is why keeping that in the view, we need to identify right partner for the right product to make it happen and be more sustainable business and higher productivity in times to come.
So, I think you have a very important point you made there, because when you're saying salespersons, you mean the company salespersons who are responsible to make this sales partnership work. Am I right?
Yes, and because they have to not only make sure that the person is working, he also have to make sure that the person has to be treated, the partner has to be treated an extended arm of the organization rather than an isolated point of contact. So when I'm saying this, I'm also ensuring that the salesperson of the organization has to treat the channel partner as an important key stakeholder. And when I say key stakeholder, they have to be treated like a customer within the system, and the entire the customer management what the organization does for the other people has to be extended and to be taken off with this gentleman also.
Okay, great. So, obviously, unless the sales partner is productive, the overall company's sales productivity is not going to be up to the standard. That's a great point that you have made for our viewers. So, then it leads to a basic question: as whose responsibility is it to make the sales partnership work?
Though organization and sales partner both has to work in unison, but at the same point of time, I always say organization as well as sales partner association is like a marriage. Though both have to work towards making sure the things move on, but the organization has to take the major lead out of it. Because we should not forget the basic point: if the partnership does not function for whatever good bad reasons, who is a major stakeholder, who is at a major loss, whose brand it is, whose product or services which is being offered into the marketplace or to the customers, and obviously it is an organization. So making sure that the partnership works in the right direction and is sustainable for a longer period of time, the ownership or the lead has to be taken by the organization itself.
Okay. So that's a great learning, Manish, about the company having actually the greater responsibility to manage the sales partnerships. So, what would make a good sales partnership? What are the elements of a good sales partnership?
The most critical aspect when we say the what are the aspects of making a good partnership work or what is a good relationship management, it is important to first, as I mentioned earlier, the sales partner has to be treated as an extended arm of the organization and not just an isolated contact point in the marketplace. जनरली होता क्या है कि जब सेल्स का प्रेशर आता है तो एक ही सवाल आता है कि धंधा लेकर आओ. जब धंधा लेकर आओ मतलब क्या होता है कि वो प्राइमरी करके आओ. जब प्राइमरी करके आओ मतलब क्या हुआ, एक बंदा अगर प्राइमरी नहीं कर, वन इज नॉट गिविंग द ऑर्डर, द पीपल जनरली गेट टू टेंडेंसी ऑफ मेकिंग अनदर डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर or another channel partner is appointed, whereas this may be a shortcut to achieving the results today, but in the long term this does not pay off. For the sustainability of the long term relationship, it is very very important. Both has to be a proper transparency has to be there. There has to be a process of complete evaluation as well as the the productivity enhancement programs, engagement activities has to be done along with the channel partner. All those things put together, when we start working towards that channel partner as a customer to the organization, the entire customer relationship management will start functioning. uh, and when this start working, the entire relationship becomes more extended and takes to a longer period of time. If we see in today's world also, all those organizations who are performing well, and if we see the attrition rate of their channel partners is very very low. They make sure that this channel partner is an active participant or active person every month of their billing cycle, rather than just once in 2 months or once in 3 months, which generally leads to a lot of issues going forward.
So, essentially, what you're saying is that make the partner a part of the family of the company. That is one of the crucial elements to basically ensure that the partnership survives and does good for both the company as well as the partner.
The relationship between organization as well as the channel partner has to be more sustainable and long standing. So when I say this, I mean when both has to be respecting each other's values, both has to respect each other's value system, and the entire ecosystem has to take both the people in one go. That is what it is.
Okay.
And when I say this is a channel partner is one of the key stakeholder, which means the channel partner has to be treated like one of the internal customer or external customer, but it has to be treated like a customer to the organization, and the entire customer relationship management has to flow in to have them engaged, so that they are motivated to go beyond the brief which has been provided to them.
So Manish, that's a great learning for all of us. मुझे आपसे ये पूछना था कि सेल्स पार्टनरशिप जब फेल होते हैं, and you have been seeing in your career of more than 25 years many such partnerships, so I'm sure that you would have witnessed some of these fail in spite of the best efforts from both sides. Why do they fail?
As I had mentioned about the marriage, now I'll take the same lifespan of a marriage kind of a thing. Initial stage of marriage, mid-size age of marriage, and later stage of marriage. As the things progress, there is a change in expectations. Now, whenever there is a change of expectation and those expectations are not met, hence there will always be disconnect. Similarly, relationship between a company as well as the channel partner is broadly based on the expectation mismatch of the expectations. Now, these mismatch of expectation can be because of various reasons. One, it could be because the company may have X goal in their mind, but they have not transparently communicated that goal or did not engage that distributor or a channel partner in sync with those goals. Now, what
Okay.
happens in that case is, now that is one. Similarly, the channel partner may have ABC return on investment in their mind, but they had not communicated or expecting those things, and hence the organization is not aligned onto those expectations of the distributor or a channel partner. So, what happens in that case is, this leads to over a period of time the disconnect between both the people, and hence partnerships gets into a deadlock in the later stage.
But then shouldn't the sales people be aware of it, and the sales management in charge, the area managers in charge of the relationship? Shouldn't they be taking some corrective action? You think that doesn't happen? बहुत केसों में से होता नहीं है corrective action?
जनरली वैसे आई सेड कि वो ट्रांसपेरेंसी जब तक नहीं होती है, वो ये प्रॉब्लम्स आर बाउंड टू कम इन. नाउ व्हाट, हाउ इट द ट्रांसपेरेंसी हैज टू बी देयर, द ट्रांसपेरेंसी हैज टू बी देयर जब उसको चैनल पार्टनर को भी ट्रीटेड एज अ कस्टमर एंड कस्टमर रिलेशनशिप मैनेजमेंट इज डन. Sales team of the organization has to do a continuous performance management activity of the distributor, as well as once they do it, it has to be set across and make sure that there is a binding on the performance management activities of the distributor. वहां पे across the table once बैठ करके once we discussed about performance evaluation is there, engagement activity is there, and if somebody is good, doing good, there has to be reward and recognition which has been provided to the distributor. This will enhance his morale. और जब morale बढ़ता जाएगा and there is hence there will be more engagement which the distributor or the channel partner will have with the organization, automatically the results will start falling in place in a larger spectrum of business.
Okay. So Manish, is there any particular process to follow to ensure that companies can build good sales partnerships or channel partnerships?
Yes, definitely. There is a generally acceptable process which will help in mitigating the risk which probably are envisaged or likely to happen in the longer period of time. Uh, for that, it is very, very important to first keep in view what are the objectives of their organization, why they are looking for a channel partner, and what is the purpose. Most of the places which are where I've seen the risk factor starts coming in is, one is definitely, as I mentioned earlier, is one of the expectation gap, and that is coming because of the fact that mostly क्या होता है, because धंधा लेकर आओ, business लेकर आओ, primary करके आओ के चक्कर में they team gets into identifying and appointing financiers as a channel partner rather than a distributor in the true sense of the word. For to making sure that we have a right kind of a partner, the selection process to start with is very, very critical. Whom are we selecting? What are we expecting out of them? Are they in sync with the profile of the organization expectation? Are they in profile with the product what we want or the services we one organization has to put it into the marketplace to the customers? So those selection process is one of the most critical aspect. It is
Sure.
something like that. Uh, Hiring or appointing a employee in the organization. As I said, we have to treat the channel partner as one of the key stakeholders in the business of any organization. So their appointment and selection is one of the very, very critical aspect. So for selection, it is very, very important to see that what is the profile of the distributor, what are we expecting out of it. Are as an organization we will be able to have our objectives met when once somebody or we appoint that distributor as one of the channel partner. Second thing is, looking from a distributor point of view or a channel partner point of view, the compensation aspect. The organization has to be very transparently should understand the expectation what the partner is expecting in return in terms of a ROI. Similarly, the company should be very transparent in letting the channel partner know what they are offering, and that there has to be buying in from both the sides. Then only the partnership generally works upon.
Okay.
After the compensation and all those things are properly done, is taken care of, and parties agree, okay, this is what is we agree upon. It is very, very important to then appoint and induct the distributor. Normally, it has to be in terms of quarterly targets, monthly targets, or half yearly, or this thing. The KPIs has to be clearly defined, And then there has to be very clear performance appraisal which needs to be put in place for the distributor, performance measurement on what parameter, and that has to be very clearly spelt along with the channel partner, and needs to be discussed frequently. आई एम नॉट से वन ऑफ कि ओके जब उसका कुछ इशू आया आपने ये नहीं किया वैसे नहीं किया, दैट विच जनरली हैपेंस. So it needs to be very frequently discussed upon, and corrective action has to be done before some deadlocks comes in at a later stage. Sometimes what happens is when the distributor is not doing very well, the entire team of the people, right from senior management guy to the national head and then distributor, the person, area manager, regional, everybody goes and say aapne ye nahi kiya wo nahi kiya, kind of a thing. But at the same point of time, if the distributor is doing very well, I think the team has to make sure that the distributor is given due reward and recognition for his efforts. When I say this, what I'm saying is the entire this process will help in building and nurturing as the partnership and the company's company and distributors or the channel partners relationship is evolving in later stage of the business.
Yeah.
If somehow this does not work, then it is very very important there has to be a less painstaking and painless separation process. Like it is like a divorce.
Yeah. So basically, what you're saying essentially is that there is not a single point of action. There are several points of action which needs to be implemented in a coordinated manner to ensure that the sales partner is made part of the family and performs well and remains motivated completely. Now, what is given this background? What are your thoughts generally on improving sales productivity beyond sales partnerships? Sales teams को हम कैसे और उसको उनको productive कर सकते हैं?
When I say as you asked, what are the things the sales team has to do to enhance the productivity? One thing is very clear: the team should not chase the results. They should follow the process. Results are the byproduct of those processes. So what happens in that case is, to make sure this productivity comes, the process driven sales will have more lasting impact rather than something with results, which is basically short term important but short term, you can say, the outcome of the business.
So, Manish, that's a great learning you're giving us. Can you give us any example of a sales partnership that had challenges and you were personally involved in sorting it out and making things all right?
Yes, there are some of the example which everybody come across in the lifespan of the career. I also came across one of the organizations where I was associated. The company was venturing from a food category to a non-food category, as well as the organization who were moving into from a non-food category to a food category. In both the cases, I found, like I'll give you example where they were moving into a non-food category to a food category. They initially started on with the same set of the channel partner which they were having for the non-food category. They had spent a lot of money as well as time, maybe about close to about 6 to 9 months time, where they were actually putting the product in the marketplace, but the result was not coming in. When I joined, when I got associated with that organization, the first thing which I identified was the selection of the channel partner which was needed for with the product category which was the food one was a major mismatch. So what was happening, the channel partner was not having the experience of servicing the food category outlets or the retail outlet in the marketplace. So what was happening, the approach towards identifying the same product in the marketplace was used for a non-food category as well as same for the food category. Hence, there was a lot of disconnect which was happening in the marketplace, and the issue was coming of serviceability was there, the shelf life of the product was there, a lot of damages started happening. So the first thing which was done was to identify the right kind of channel partner and move on, and that was the first broader correction which was done, and the entire thing went on corrected. Similarly, even if I'd also experienced even in the same food category, if the subcategory or the was also changed, like say for example somebody from dry product moves into beverages, one cannot make the same approach generally for a dry category with a frozen category, or for that matter beverage category. So those were the things which was identified.
So, Manish, that's a very nice message that you've given all of us. As we conclude this lovely discussion, is there any final message that you have for our viewers?
Yes, definitely. Since we had talked about, I talked about a couple of broader aspect of building sales efficiencies and productivity. I would request all my coaches to now enroll themselves on the course which will be starting on 13th of September 21 on building efficient sales organization with GASP. So once they are into this, which I'll be taking on session on these aspects, where I'll be talking more in depth of all the 6 or 7 processes which I talked about, with more relevant experiences, which is more specific, maybe to their current businesses, or maybe somebody who's wanted to venture into something new.
Thank you, Manish. That was a lovely discussion that we had on about making sales partnership work. I'm sure that all the viewers who will become our cohorts on 13 September for our course will gain a lot by listening to you there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Pleasure. Thanks.
That was a great learning from Manish Loomba that we had about making sales partnership work, isn't it? Manish will be talking in more detail about various aspects and the processes involved at the forthcoming masterclass titled Building Efficient Sales Organizations with GASP. This masterclass is designed to give you the tools and the know how to build an operation that can deliver results over a sustained period of time. Do register for the class by scanning the QR code now, and you will be hearing from Manish and mentors like Sunil Haribal and myself on making a business sustainable and viable by focusing on the processes to get the results. I look forward to seeing all of you on September 13th. Thank you and goodbye.